What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for jumping in to this video or broadcast, depending on when you're watching it, of course. My name is Danny ColdBlood, aka MusicVidiot, and I am joined here today with fellow mystery hunter, Fearless, the motherfucking Force. Fearless Force, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Danny? Good to be back on the channel. What's up, everybody watching? Hope everyone's having a blessed and awesome time. What's up, Danny?
Not much, man. I got some stuff that I want to bring up here in this video. I kind of want to get your opinion on it as well as everyone else's. The title of the video seems like it could be pretty clickbaitish, but we all know that Rockstar gives us clues in mysterious ways, kind of like the Lord. Okay, and we know that the Lord is tied directly into all this.
Good one there.
With the definition of Easter egg, actually being directly involved with Jesus rising from the tomb. Guys, I talked all about that shit in the zombie episode that I came out with. So if you haven't seen that, you gotta go check that out. But today we're gonna talk about the jetpack, and I needed some professional help from Fearless Force, as he is a San Andreas god, and I want to point out this location and the importance, because this mine shaft right here in Sandy Shores, okay, looks a lot like the entrance to the same mine shaft that we have for the murder mystery. And the murder mystery, you know, I believe is almost a template for clues, the way that, you know, we're supposed to look at clues. You know, we go and we see the little sound when we read the writing on the wall. So there's like a lot of hints with the murder mystery, using sound as a clue, all that stuff. So there's a connection here, and this is a very interesting location. Fearless, isn't this a very similar, at least visually, location that we have in this game compared to San Andreas?
Yeah, this is the Verdant Meadows. You guys remember CJ's old hangar, the abandoned hangar? I've actually, like, it's interesting because I made some connections to Trevor. There's a lot of connections to Trevor in the jetpack, right? But like this airfield belongs to Trevor, and I find it interesting how it like resembles CJ's hangar like so much. We got the same type of hangar, the same runway. You know, we got the same little like staircase building. I mean, what would you call that kind of building? It's kind of like a lookout thing, huh?
Yeah, like a little lookout tower or whatever.
Yeah, CJ's hangar has that one as well. Like it's so similar, and people who have played San Andreas, they know this. They've probably even come across it themselves, and it's even stumbled their mind without having somebody tell them. You know what I'm saying?
So this location in San Andreas, because if you guys have watched my San Andreas playthroughs, you see me rage. I couldn't do it. I couldn't get far. I sucked. But basically, this is a very similar location to the location in San Andreas that looks, I mean, that actually has the spawning location for the jetpack, right? After we get it in the bunker or whatever, at Area 69, it'll spawn at this location in San Andreas, right?
Yeah, so once you complete the Black Project mission, that's when the next mission, the truth comes up to you and says I have to steal the green goo, and then that's when after that, or even before that, the jetpack will spawn. I'll show you where it spawns actually, like according to San Andreas. And you know what's cool too, like in San Andreas you also have like a little mobile home right by the hangar that you go inside and save. So like it would be like right here. So like the jetpack would probably spawn like, I would say like right here somewhere.
So in San Andreas there's a mobile home
even
there
like
too. And we
yeah,
have
there's a mobile home
here. So there's too much for it to be a coincidence, you're saying. There's the little lookout tower right there.
But then
got the hangar, we got the mobile, the little.
Oh, we got a gang attack. God damn it.
And we got a gang attack. I'm gonna see if I can run from this thing. The reason I'm bringing this stuff up, guys, okay?
Yeah, just get in my car.
Okay. The reason I'm bringing this up, guys, and I'm going over this information, first of all, it's for people that might not know. Like, I really wasn't too familiar with all this, okay? But not only that, I have some information. Well, I found something a while ago, and I just never brought it to anyone's attention. But the more I start showing people that I play with and some buddies and stuff, they're telling me that this really should be brought up to everyone's attention. So I need your guys' help. I need everyone watching to give me your honest input. You're not going to hurt my feelings if it's not what you think or what I'm saying it looks like. And if you do think it looks like it, then maybe we are onto something, because we just talked about the very significant, similarities between this location and San Andreas, and we have the mine shaft. The connection with the murder mystery, the only other known mystery that we can solve in this game. Okay, now check this out. In San Andreas, was it not called the airplane graveyard, this place?
It didn't really have a specific name that I remember it by, but I know it was in Verdant Meadows. I think it was just going by like abandoned airfield.
Okay, because I was looking on the Wikipedia. I should have had it pulled up, but it said something about being an airplane graveyard here, or referred to it as one, and I thought that was funny. Okay, it says right here.
Is that what it's called for this one in specific
says,
in GTA 5?
No. Here is just Trevor's Airstrip, but it says here on Fandom,
Okay.
it says beside the house where the player can save the game in Verdant Meadows Airport Graveyard. So it's called Verdant Meadows Airport Graveyard. Now it's funny because we do have an airport graveyard. It's not here, but it's right around the corner, right here. And the significance with this is that this is where we concluded the Easter egg with the Beast and Bigfoot. Bigfoot had to go all over the place listening to different sounds, right? And trying to, you had to use sounds like we had in the murder mystery. The little film reel would go and you would hear it after we read the message telling us that we, completed that step of the murder mystery. And yet again, sounds again brought back up in this game with an update, concluding here at the airplane graveyard, which this area that we're at right now was called the airplane graveyard in San Andreas, same place where we got the jetpack to spawn after earning it, and it also connects again full circle to the murder mystery because of that mine shaft down there. Now guys, this is where I want to go ahead and tell you why I'm saying and why I'm bringing up all this stuff to you guys. Fearless has made some videos in the past that ties directly into this. I have as well, but I want to go ahead and show you guys a jetpack that I believe is right here in front of our face with this Faggio mod. Remember Scooter Brothers? I always thought that was weird, but now there's a way I can actually see some sense of it. They're pointing at something, I believe. Look at this scooter. It's full of antennas and a million different mirrors. This makes me, just looking at it, makes me think of like Radio Mirror Park because of the antennas. We got the mirrors. Okay, so there's a lot of like stuff that we've looked at before concerning the objects on this scooter that led us to a lot of different discoveries. Okay, when you have the sun hit you in the right angle, depending on the type of day, you'll have to be facing a certain direction. But when you have the sun hitting you, you can actually use the sun to give you a shadow that will make this look like a jetpack on the ground in the game. It is absolutely insane. Let me get to a good spot so I can show you guys. And when you actually see it, like, it's absolutely mind-blowing. I didn't want to post this before because it was kind of too toasty for what I normally do. But you know what? It really looks like it too when you move the handlebars like this, left and right. It looks like he's actually holding onto that little stick that's attached to the, the control or whatever on the jetpack in San Andreas. I might have to splice in a picture or a video clip right here because the sun is just not on our side right now and showing off the thing the way I want to. So I might have to edit this right afterwards and show everybody. But getting to the whole point though, let me read something I want to read to you guys, and then Fearless, if you want to explain about similar stuff that you've talked about in your videos. But when you look at Grand Theft Auto 5 and you look at the statements that were made when this game came out, they're pretty big statements. Like the art director, okay, for Grand Theft Auto 5 said that there is so many Easter eggs that they have in this game, and they're so obscured that he doesn't believe that they will ever all be found. And now when you look up the development of Grand Theft Auto 5 on Wikipedia, there's a section here I want to read to you guys. It says, the original version's vegetation was replaced with more detailed equivalents in the enhanced version. An upgraded weather system lets tree branches and leaves blow realistically in the wind. The team had placed weeds along the fences and walls and placed grass over many open world terrains. Then they layered flowers, plants, stones, leaves, and litter all over the grass and upgraded screen space. Ambient occlusion system, rendering dynamic shadows that may cast through weather effects, including volumetric fog and particle effects, including light reflections in water bodies or neon reflections in cars at night. Basically, guys, this is some realistic ass fucking shit that they went above and beyond to make happen. And if the art director, someone that's going to use this kind of stuff to implement a way to show an Easter egg or hide an Easter egg, if he's saying that there's so many obscured ways that they put Easter eggs in this game, don't by any means kid yourself and think that there's no way. It's just Jesus Toast. That can't happen, because there's been multiple times, like at the lighthouse, where we have the eye that shows up in the morning when we look at the shadow, or even at the Vinewood Bowl with the Illuminati. There's a lot of things that I brought up, that Fearless brought up, that shows that lighting, that shadows, that perspective from bird's eye views, all this different shit reveals little mini Easter eggs throughout the game that some can actually lead us to bigger finds. Like, Fearless, what do you think of all this shit that I'm talking about right now? Do you think that this thing looks like the jetpack? I'm going to get a better view of it so everyone can see it, but I mean, you brought up shit on your videos about the whole position of the sun and shit. I was like, if you mind sharing, I definitely would appreciate it, because people definitely need to get more informed if they don't know about this.
Yeah, I like how you brought this up because it's a perfect example of a recent video I did. I was trying to tell people how, like, the sun is important. And you know it's important when they engrave it into the Elter's camp and they put it in important places all over, the game, like praise the sun, we are his children. There's a lot of clues in the game pointing to the sun. I remember you even seen, like, for example, at some specific spot by the vineyard, there was like an arrow and there was like a little like symbol of the sun in a certain like billboard. You know what I mean? I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, with the
There's
model
like,
vineyard.
yeah, there's a lot of like clues regarding the sun, and the thing that I was trying to say in my recent video, I was pointing out how even the jetpack symbol itself only reveals itself at a certain time during the sun, and there's actually like cycles and realistic weather in the game, and it's so realistic to the point that it's like, yo, if everyone who's playing this game has a different weather, has a different, shadow phase in different spots. And when it comes to like the weather and the sun and the alignments of shadows being so realistic like that, it's like real life. Like you can, what I'm saying, like you can bump into like just things that you'll never expect.
Right.
And that's what I've been trying to tell everybody, is that that's the biggest change that I've seen so far with GTA 5, because it's pretty much the basics, just that we have 3 characters now, better graphics and better physics. But besides that, I think the biggest change is how they have like a 24-hour working weather system that realistically changes like every second. It moves. They've never done that before with any other GTA. It's always just been textures in the sky that change at certain key points in the game. So like the fact that this is like a big change, and this is what they were going for as well. They wanted this game to be realistic. This is what they said. They were trying to make this game as realistic as possible. And a lot of people don't realize this because they just take the game for granted, or they played it so much that they think like, it's not really realistic. But when they think about it like a real person or a real developer, it is, because the weather is always changing. It's like a real cycle. So I thought, hey, like, let's say you and me, Danny, were making GTA 5 and we were able to get our hands on this like 24-hour working weather cycle system that would change shadows, that would let us take advantage of shadows or like clues that only pop up in the sun shadows when we want to. Wouldn't we take advantage of that and include it into the biggest mystery in the game? Like,
oh, absolutely.
The fact that we have...
That's the foundation of how Rockstar works, dude. They're very subliminal and sneaky. Like, when I read that like little statement, like, I don't know if people really realize what I said, like what I was reading. It says an upgraded screen space, ambient occlusion system, rendering dynamic shadows that may cast through weather effects, including volumetric fog, particle effects, light reflections, bodies of water, neon. Why need to do that? You don't need to do that. You could save your processing, all that stuff, and have other things be more of a spotlight in the game. No one's going to be looking for shadows through all that kind of shit, dude. But they did it because there's just more ways they can have you appreciate their art by digging in and looking at every nook and cranny, because you hope to find that Easter egg here and there. And so they gave it to us. And I mean, I think this looks like a jetpack, man. Like when you're on this thing and you're looking at it when the sun's a certain way aiming at you and it's cast that shadow, like when you move your handlebars left and right, you can kind of see, looks like he's holding that joystick, that little controller. And like just like the mirrors, they make like the jetpack body. You played San Andreas. It's not a perfect jetpack. It's not a physical one in the game. But I mean, we've seen other things that, you know, like the Maze Bank building at night with the lights. Like there's other jetpacks that we see in the game through use of lighting and shadows. What's your opinion on this, Fearless?
Oh yeah,
is
bro.
it good
This
or bad?
definitely looks just like like it looks better now when you first showed me. It looks like I'm literally flying the jetpack. Even the shadow looks like CJ, but maybe that's just normal because like, you know, human figures and shapes are similar, but dude, it definitely looks like it. And this is like a perfect example. Even though like people can look at this and say, yo, you guys are crazy. Like, nah, you guys are looking this too far. Well, think about it like this. The shadows are like the only thing we have that give us some kind of proof that the jetpack exists. For example, the jetpack shadow, it only spawns in the shadows, and it's the closest thing we have to the physical jetpack itself if it's in the game. It's a shadow. So why is it bad or like far-fetched to say that this is another clue or another way of trying to point it out? You know what I'm saying? Like for example, I was telling you earlier, like why is there so much mirrors on this Faggio? Like what's the point of all these mirrors? Like what the fuck is
Right,
going on with
that's what I
this
was
star,
saying. Like,
right?
look what's making up the shape of this thing to cast a shadow. It's a shadow being casted of mirrors, antennas, all of this shit, dude. Like stuff that we've been looking into. I mean, look at the back of this tire, the second tire. It looks like there's an X right on there. Like it's just very suspicious. We have the whole suspicious thing with the Scooter brothers, and then for them to, it's not like I jumped on this dude and said, I'm gonna make myself see a jetpack today. Let me get some butter for my toast. No, I was driving and I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, this dude, you know, I was so afraid of backlash from the community, I didn't put this out. And I've known about this. I've had this since this update, since this vehicle came out. But I've been just too, you know, I gotta stop that. I gotta just see what you guys think. I'm not gonna claim to find the jetpack, but you know what? Rockstar did this shit on purpose. Like one of the biggest discoveries. Remember when Delta?
I think what they're trying to do is obviously this isn't the jetpack, but it's a clue. But I think what they're trying to point us to, and the only reason why the jetpack is a shadow in the first place, is to tell us to look in the shadows, to look for clues for the shadows. Because I mean, check this out. They give us clues. Praise the sun. We are his children. See the eye. Praise the sun. So in order to praise the sun, we have to like obviously see what the sun does, and it casts shadows. And the jetpack is a perfect example to praise the sun because it will give us what we need, clues, right? And that's the best way that we're also going to be able to see and value Rockstar's art when it comes to the way they made this game and the weather and the cycles and the art for it, you know what I'm saying? Is to see that the clues will reveal themselves with the 24-hour cycle weather, with the art that they made this game with, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Like there's so much. Like I mean, I think you put it in one of your videos. I know I put it in one of my videos. Like one of the guys at like the hippie camp, like the NPCs will say, like from a satellite view, the rocks are aligned or line up in a certain way.
Oh yeah.
Why would they say that shit if they didn't want us to look at this stuff? You know, it's like
for a long time nobody.
too.
I swear, if you ask anybody, no one will know the answer to that. And I pretty much cleared it up in my recent video, and it was unexpected. Honestly, I was just like digging through the game, and then I heard this guy say the Mayans had it right, but where did they go? And I'm like, yo, I've heard this like so many times. I'm always at the hippie camp. I always hear this, but I've never really like researched the Mayans or how it could connect to what we're trying to find inside the game. So I did some research. It was pretty simple. It was just this one Google search, and I found this video, and it talked about how the sun, how it aligns to certain buildings that the Mayans created. Like they made pyramids, and like they aligned the pyramids with the sun and certain key points in the year to cast shadows on certain things, stuff like that. It's very interesting. You guys should check it out. It's on my channel. It definitely just like shows and proves to everyone how the sun is pretty much the main factor here. I
Dude,
mean, it's showing it's showing the jetpack shadow. Like that's already enough to say like, yeah, it's got to be the sun.
you're right. Like, there's so
Praise the
much
sun.
of this type of conversation that, like, I don't see enough of it. I want to see more people hunting, like looking at stuff like the sun position and the moon position, because, like, remember when Delta came out with that discovery at the observatory, or that sun symbol on that plate, and it had to be the right solstice, it had to be the right, every fucking thing, dude, everything had to be right for that to show up. And that is big, because it shows that we're not looking too deep into it, that this stuff is going to show us different Easter eggs, that shadows can show shit, that the positions of the planets, like the sun and moon, can align to show different things. There's enough clues in the game. We're starting to little by little find new clues, like I just showed you guys today. I need everyone's opinion on that. But neither here nor there. All the connections that we showed you at the beginning, like the airplane graveyard over there, being where we were lured by Bigfoot, or by the beast with Bigfoot. You know, this
Yeah.
being called the airplane graveyard in San
Check this
Andreas,
out. Check this out.
matching up with
It
this
makes
game.
sense. It makes sense. Check this out. They're pretty much telling us to be an observer of the skies. I mean, why do you think there's so much telescopes in the game? There's so much. I mean, the fact that the mysteries revolved around aliens and UFOs, and you know they come from outer space, and we have all these eyes. The mural itself has an eye in a spaceship. I think it's pretty much telling us to observe not only that there's UFOs and aliens in the game, but also to observe where they come from, which is from space. And if we take, like, if we observe space, then we start to get into the cycles and the sun and the moon, right? And like this game has like a realistic cycle, so it's like there's a whole month that you know that like they have, how do you say, they have the moon, all the full moon quarters and stuff like that, right? The moon phases, there we go. They have all the full moon phases, and like of course it's every single day is going to be different or something, you know what I'm saying? That's, if you think about it like this is the only reason why we haven't solved it, is because if it does have something to do with the cycles and the sun and the shadows, and it does, then that would mean there would only be key points in certain times that we would be able to see something that's going to tell us straight up, yo, this is where you need to go, this is what you need to do. And the fact that it's so rare, that's why we haven't found it, because
That's why they
has to
gave
do
us
with
like
the
different
cycles.
clues and methods, like bird's eye view. Some shadows might only be able to be seen from the top down. Like, there's so much shit that we need to utilize that I think that people, you know, not everybody, but some people might be brushing it off like, no, that's not gonna be. That's too much. That's getting too deep. Or some people just are alone and they don't have the help. So, like, I mean, guys, if you want to get together, definitely hit us up. I'll put the videos that Fearless was talking about that he made. I'll put the links in the description. Definitely check out his channel if you guys don't know of him, but I'm sure you guys know Fearless by now. You know, another good hunter to look into if you guys want some more awesome content. And listen, I think I'm gonna, you know, one of the biggest things that I think we need to really, as a community, start doing is opening up not only our eyes but our ears, because we brought up the Bigfoot and Beast thing, and that was led by sound. The murder mystery, led by sound. We got the sound confirmation with the film reel, letting us know we've seen the statement or the writing on the wall. Okay, and then we have another clue that is big with sound, but I don't have time for that today, guys. I'm sorry. In a little while, in a couple hours, I'll be posting a new video getting all into that. And it does tie some stuff in together, so stay tuned for that content. Also, Resident Evil 7, guys, comes out this Monday night, technically Tuesday, Monday night at midnight, but it's going to be out a little bit earlier here on the East Coast, 9 p.m. Monday Eastern Standard Time. I'll be broadcasting it live, and I think, Fearless, you're going to be doing that, the broadcasting of the Resident Evil 7 as well, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely, bro. I've seen the gameplay itself. I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's really intense. It's really good. You guys definitely don't want to miss out. So yeah, I mean, good to. It'll be really good to see everyone there.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I'm also gonna let everybody know on my channel as well. But there's one thing I want to say regarding the mystery really quick before we doze off. That's what I was saying in my last video. Like, this is literally like it. Like, nothing else has worked, and like this is the final hope, or the final thing I can say about the mystery is that this is gonna be it. The sun. I mean, it's got to be the sun. There's a lot of clues about it in the game, and why would they just be inside the game for nothing? Even each single character individually has a different sun. Have you noticed that? maybe I think something we need to also take a look at that, the fact that each character in the game has a different sun. Does that also mean that each character, because the sun is different, will maybe cast a different shadow? That's something that I probably thought like, okay, maybe, you know, Michael's sun is brighter and it'll probably change the shadow a little bit, or maybe only a certain character that's connected to the mystery will have that sun that'll cast that shadow that we want, right? That's something that I was thinking right now, actually, the fact that, but yeah, each character has a different sun, and I found that very interesting. And that's just another clue that points that the sun is the answer. Pretty much,
Right.
I'm saying like that's it. That's the final hope for the mystery, that it's the sun. That's the only thing we haven't looked far into enough, is the sun, the cycles, the mighty and the omega, the outer space. It's gonna be it, bro.
I
Trust
mean,
me, it's gonna be
when
it.
Next Gen came out, they gave us a achievement or trophy for, you know, a new perspective, they called it, and the picture has a little clock on there, you know. That's for being in first person for like 15 hours or 12 hours or something. But that's going to show you, dude. They're willing to give a, you know, all the achievement and trophy junkies out there are going to do it whether or not they're involved in the mystery or not, just because they want the achievement or trophy. But that's their way of kind of almost like pushing us into the water, like saying whether you like it or not, if you want to get 100% on the trophies or achievements, you're going to have to go in first person, because there's a new way to look at something. You might see something differently, and they keep on stressing perspective. They're stressing a lot of stuff, and I'm starting to notice it more and more. They are going back to things that they've stressed a lot, and they're stressing it again with small things and updates like the vehicles, different. I don't want to get too much into it because it's all about what my next video is going to show. Something that they came out with yet again just recently, that's going back to the same old mystery that's been in our face from day one, guys. And it's like, I don't know if it's just too obvious in our minds because we're like, okay, we know about that, but do we really know what's going on and what happened? I can't reveal it, so there's my like half-assed little cliffhanger for you all. Anyway, stay tuned, guys. Thank you so much, Fearless, for jumping in. I always appreciate your presence and your ideas and thoughts, because you have good shit, good mystery thinking, and I do appreciate you joining in and helping me out with the video.
Yeah, no problem, man. You know, I'm always welcomed on here. I know that, but it's always also a good feeling to do some videos with you, Danny. My boy Danny here makes me
Awesome,
feel
man.
comfortable.
That's
Yeah.
because I stick my finger in your butt, you know that. Oh, wait.
Oh
I'm
my
not
God.
supposed to say that live. Anyway, guys, I'll have to edit that out if I just reveal the secret that Fearless didn't want to tell anybody
Oh
yet.
shit.
Anyway, let's close that closet door. Thank you guys so much for jumping in. It's been an honor and a motherfucking pleasure. We'll see you guys in the next video or broadcast. Take easy. Ta-ta. And as mother fucking always. Peace. Couldn't end the video out with a fucking... I guess I will just have to end out with a piece. If I try to blow your asses up on the...
Someone in the chat put gays. Ew.
Oh, I wish I had my rainbow suit on. Alright, that was a fake ending, guys. That was a fake ending. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Thank you guys for joining. It's been an awesome time. See you guys in the next video or broadcast. Until next time, take it easy. Ta-ta. Don't burn yourself alive. And, as always, peace.